you're not losing your focus because you're weak. Instead, your focus is being actively stolen. And during this, you're highly vulnerable to distractions. And that's where they attack you. Who is this they? Your attention is their currency. You are not the customer here. You are the product that is being sold. It is one of the most profitable industries on the planet currently. And here's what they are actually stealing from you. Imagine being exploited and at the same time being blamed for getting exploited. If you have done even a little research on attention span, I bet you have come across the Microsoft study. Everyone loves to quote these numbers. The study shows that human attention span has sunk below than even an average goldfish. Wait. Don't skip away. It does have real life consequences. Losing focus kills your drive, makes you tired, and causes silly mistakes. Combine them all together and you're trapped in a cycle of burnout. So when you're losing focus, you're not just losing minutes, you're losing money, progress, and also health. And guess what the reason is? I know that you will be tempted to put all the blame on reels, short form content, and smartphones, right? But here's the twist. The study is from 2015. Yes, it's 10 years old. Back then, TikTok didn't exist, shorts were not everywhere, and Instagram was not a slot machine. So if the internet and TikTok are not the problem, then what is? And most importantly, why are you getting blamed for it? It's not like that you just woke up one day and decided to giving up on paying attention. That's not how it works. And it's not even your fault. Here's the real reason why you're always distracted. Here's the thing nobody tells you about focus. Your brain is actually not designed to sit still on one thing for hours. Research shows that it is normal for your attention to come and go rather than being consistently focused. This happens to everyone, no matter how smart you are. Instead of focusing on one thing for a long time, your attention works in short bursts. For example, while you might think you're focusing on watching this whole video, you're actually switching your focus several times per second. And within those short seconds, if your phone rings, you get an email, or your ex likes your Instagram photo from 2 years ago, suddenly you are lost. And also, my viewership is down the drain. That's why I have to spend hours editing this to make them as engaging as possible for you. And why is that? That's because during this tiny window, your prefrontal cortex is resetting and scanning for novelty. And during this, you're highly vulnerable to distractions. And that's where they attack you. Who is this they? Let's talk about the billion-dollar industry that is built around stealing your attention. Again, you're not losing your focus because you're weak. Instead, your focus is being actively stolen. Just think about it. The apps on your phone, the websites you visit every day, even the news you read, all of them are designed to keep you hooked. The equation is quite simple and it's hidden in the plain sights. The more time you spend staring at a screen, the more ads they can sell to you. Your attention is their currency. You are not the customer here. You are the product that is being sold. And they don't leave it to chance. Endless scroll was designed so you never hit a stopping point. Autoplay keeps you watching even when you didn't plan to. Notifications are engineered to act like slot machines, giving you random hits of dopamine so you keep checking. This is not random. It is the attention economy. And it is one of the most profitable industries on the planet currently. And here's what they are actually stealing from you. So what happens when your attention is constantly hijacked? It's not just about losing time. It's also about losing control over your mind. Research shows that heavy internet and phone use affects the same parts of the brain linked to impulse control, decision making, and reward. In plain words, the more you give in to distractions, the harder it gets to resist them the next time around. And the impact doesn't end there. When your focus keeps breaking, it leaves you feeling uneasy, anxious, and oftentimes depressed. It also makes your memory weaker because when your brain keeps switching, it gets harder to hold on to facts. Also, while multitasking can make you feel productive, it is actually making you 40% less efficient. As a result, you end up working more hours for lower output. And then, over time, you lose all your energy and motivation. But don't worry, there's a way out. But first, you need to find your distraction triggers. Now that you know why you're always distracted, it's time to find out how you're getting distracted. Distraction can come in many forms. But if you think about it, it all boils down to these three elements. Lack of motivation. If you don't find a task enjoyable or have no specific goal, you are more likely to procrastinate, cut corners, or get easily distracted. External distractions. Things like phone notifications and noise can hinder your focus on a task. These can divert your attention and make it harder to complete anything. Internal factors like stress and fatigue can often result in negative thoughts or feelings, making any task feel even more tedious. How to block or address each of these elements? It's actually easier than you think. 3 words. Know your why. Why are you doing the thing that you are doing? How does it change your life for good? And what if you don't do it well? Not many people think about all this stuff. But maybe they should. Because if they did, they would have their skin in the game. For example, what if I ask you to go for a run tomorrow morning? Would you go? Maybe not. Yes, it's good for your health and all. But let's be real. There's nothing immediate about it. No tangible threat or no immediate reward. But wait, what if I offer you 500 rupees for the same task? Now it sounds interesting, right? Now let's take this a level further. What if your city declares a 5,000 rupees penalty if you don't go for a run? Now you don't have any option, do you? No matter how smart we think we are, our actions and behavior are largely governed by the different variations of reward and punishment model. If you don't see a clear, attractive reward or a fearsome punishment, you don't feel the motivation to do anything. But you can easily exploit this same mindset to your advantage. Here's how I set my own why. It comes down to 2 motivators. Positive motivator and negative motivator. For me, the positive motivator is the better and faster I do my job, the less time I have to spend at my desk doing rework. And with the free time, I can do anything I want. And the negative motivator is the more time I spend delaying a task, the less time I have to enjoy for myself. And I can't buy my time back with money. So, find your own positive and negative motivators, make them as clear as possible, and you will never slack off again. I know what you're thinking. But what about distractions? Here's the super simple trick to deal with your distractions. Here's one of the easiest way to boost your productivity using your phone. All you have to do is put it away. But you can't, can you? That's not just practical anymore. You can miss an important call or mail, right? So now you have a pretty reasonable and good excuse. You can keep the devious distraction device with you all the time, even when you could really use some uninterrupted block of time. No worries, I have just the thing you need. There should be a feature in your phone called focus mode. It allows you to block specific apps and websites for a set period. As a result, you can focus more on work without missing any urgent calls or emails. You can access it through your toggle bar. But what if your phone doesn't have that feature built in? You can easily use external apps like Freedom to get the same result. Jake Knapp and John Ziratsky are the designers of the very Google products that distract you from working. Here's what they mention in their book Make Time. When distraction is hard to access, you don't have to worry about willpower. Here's the ultimate secret to focus for longer. And what's that? Give up trying. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video? Our brains are not actually designed to focus on a single thing for a longer period of time. On the contrary, it works better in breaks. And when you push it against its nature, it breaks down. So, let your brain play the way it plays the best. Take micro breaks. In these breaks, you take 5 to 10 minutes off and do something else. It can be anything. Play games, watch reels, or sell your best friend on OLX. None of it matters. Anything other than work. And when you come back to work, you will feel energized, curious, and far away from Mr. Enigmatic burnout. Or it can be Miss. I'm not sure about the gender part. Yes, it's that simple. Like most things are when you actually know where to attack. After all, it all comes down to, hey, there's a new Tinder match.